Hello everyone, Dr. Lauren Brem here, and today I want to talk about why men and women cheat. So before I start, if you could just take a moment to subscribe to my channel, like this video, or come check me out at laurenbrem.com, I would really appreciate it. So we often think when men and women cheat on partners that they love, that they claim to love, um, we have a lot of theories that we hear. One is that they're in a sexless partnership, that there's a sex addict and they can't help themselves. We often hear this about women, that they're seeking intimacy, love, attention that they're not getting from their partners. But as a sex coach, a mind-body sex therapist, and as someone who has been studying sexuality for years, I can tell you that the reason people cheat is because there's a part of their sexuality that they have decided, that they have been told is not okay. And so they have fragmented that part of their sexuality off. It does not exist in their current relationship. And yet, because it's this life force, just like the weeds that keep growing up in my backyard or the trees that keep sprouting new branches, it has to come up and out. So it finds its way out in another relationship, in cheating. And so often I see that it is these very behaviors, these very sexual activities that they don't feel comfortable asking their partner for, that they do with other people. And you might think that this is some crazy, what we call deviant form of sexuality, but often it's something like, receiving a blowjob, or something like slightly kinky, like a man who wants his nipples played with, or, a woman that is longing for, more dominance in her sexual dynamic with her partner. So this shows me that we still have so much work to do, not just as individuals, but as a culture. Because these people, why do we get into relationships where we can't be ourselves sexually? Well, because our culture has told us that our sexuality is deviant, and it's told us that sexuality isn't something to value in a relationship. And yet, compatible sexuality, sexual pleasure, is so important for relationship success, for happiness. The latest studies show us, even for meaningfulness in life, pleasurable sex is more important than even a long-term committed relationship. So if we can bring who we are sexually into our relationships, we create exciting, dynamic sexual partnerships, and we have no desire to explore sexuality outside that relationship. Yes, I do believe that some people, their sexual orientation is polyamorous. They want to express sex with lots of people. Or if your sexual orientation is bisexual or fluid, you might find that there are other genders or partnered experiences you want to have. But you can also still explore that within the context of a monogamous relationship if you choose to. I should probably go into that more in another video. But if you are looking to be in a monogamous pairing and to, have a truthful, honest, fulfilled sexual relationship with that partner, you have to be brave enough to confront the parts of your sexuality that you've decided are wrong, are bad, are something you wouldn't want to do with your wife or wouldn't want to do with your husband because they're too, dirty or dominant or submissive or whatever you've decided. And you need to talk with your partner about that. You need to have those conversations. And sometimes we, need words to know where to start, but it could be something like, can I share something with you about my sexuality? Can I share something with you that I fantasize about? Can I share a fantasy I had about you the other day? Can we masturbate together? Like, I want to see how you touch yourself. I want to know what you think about when you masturbate. These are such important conversations to have. And what we find is that when authentic sexuality is flowing in a relationship, it is a spring of endless creativity. Just like, the creative arts. It's, we can churn out movie after movie and new TV episodes and new books and new art. It's never, yes, things repeat themselves, but we're never going to exhaust that endless well. Just like we have an endless well of love in our heart. We can go on loving and loving and loving It's not finite. It doesn't end. And we live in a universe of infinity, and we have infinite sexual creative energy that we can share with our partner, which means it doesn't have to get stale. It doesn't have to get boring. And if it is, it's because both of you aren't showing up as your authentic sexual selves. You might have no idea where to begin to discover that, but I encourage you to check out coaching. I encourage you to dialogue with your partner. I encourage you to explore your own sexual fantasies and start to discover, who am I sexually and how can I show up with my partner like that, instead of watching porn in secret, instead of messaging exes, instead of paying sex workers and, you know, getting hand jobs and justifying. And, you know, we do so much justification when we cheat on our partners, and we really need to show up and deal with the shame that we have about our sexuality and our desire for intimacy. And I encourage you to explore that. So if you have been cheated on, if you are the cheater, don't be so hard on yourself or your partner. You know, I don't believe these are individual issues. This is a society that has put us in a box. And, you know, how do we climb out of this box? We got to climb out of it together. We've got to have conversations so that when people do pick partners, they are free to be their sexual selves. Sexuality isn't demonized, and we can actually show up and have really authentic connections. So that is my desire for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Would love to hear your questions and comments below. And yeah, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everyone.